is continuing mission. What's up, guys? Still kind of getting over this head cold, but I put together a couple of stories about the times that I met Star Trek The Next Generation cast members that I thought you would find amusing. I live in the Pacific Northwest, so when I have the funds, I try to make the Emerald City Comic-Con, which pulls in talent. And I'll, every month or so, kind of check their websites to see if there's any TNG cast members. Because I have a mission that I want all of the principal cast members to sign my Season 3 DVD insert, which was probably their pivotal season, and the one that made them a bona fide classic. So many good episodes. Including the series, or the season's cliffhanger, Best of Both Worlds, Part 1. Now, most of the cast members charge money for their autographs, which they have definitely earned the right to do so, but that kind of determines where I spend my time and who I choose to encounter, because sometimes those lines, you can stand there for like 2 hours, depending on when you get there. So to date, I've met 3 Next Generation cast members. I've met Wil Wheaton, I've met Sir Patrick Stewart, and I've met Michael Dorn. Wil Wheaton.
Wil Wheaton.
He was set up at a table next to the Stargate guy who has that thing going on. And I was behind 3 teenage girls who were giggling the entire time. I was in that line for probably half an hour. And I have to say, Wil Wheaton's the only one who's not charging money for his autographs. So I brought like a stack of shit for him to sign. I had a couple of seasons of Big Bang, and I had my Star Trek DVD. And, I'm sitting there waiting in line, and the girls in front of me had made him the ceramic Dalek from Doctor Who. And if you don't know what a Dalek is, it kind of looks like that. It's like a weird R2-D2 with a plunger on it. And Wil Wheaton's a big dork, so like he's gonna know exactly what all that stuff is. And the thing about this ceramic Dalek was, like, when you opened up the midsection, the little belly, you could see the little like Krang inside. It was impressive. And here's Wil Wheaton's direct quote: "Shut the front door!" And that's how you know, like, you're amongst fellow nerds. So, and then it's my turn to talk to him, and I hand him my stack of shit, and I start trying to talk to him about Where No Man Has Gone Before and Journey's End, because those are my 2 favorite episodes concerning Wesley Crusher, because of the Traveler. And I didn't put it to him like, yeah, you're alright, but I like the Traveler. I was like, your interaction with that dude made those stories for me, so I want to thank you personally as he's sitting there doing this. And he kind of goes, thanks man. And he got all like meek. And I was like, is Wil Wheaton intimidated by me? I don't know. I didn't press the point. I was just kind of like, alright. Took my shit and went home. The next person I met was Sir Patrick Stewart, which was, for me, I was intimidated, because this is the dude who, he has the voice, he has the bearing, the quintessential British gentleman, but if he told me to do like 10 jumping jacks in that authoritative voice, I think I would do it. Yes, sir. Yes, Captain, sir. Now, the person in front of me was talking to him about space travel, and he talked about an opportunity for him to go to the International Space Station. And I actually got to hear him say the words, "Commander, the European Commander." And I was just like, he said Commander. I know, I'm a dweeb. But, you know, I'm like thinking, I'm like, what the fuck am I going to say to Patrick Stewart? And the only thing that I could think was to express my gratitude for the role he played in my life and in introducing such high concepts. And I know it was the writers, but like his performance, man, there was a couple of shaky episodes in the first couple seasons, but like there was rarely any time where Patrick Stewart was not on point. And if he wasn't, I would actually chalk that up to the writing and not to the man's ability. And it's funny because later on, when I started watching the X-Men movies, Patrick Stewart was Professor X. And then Famke Janssen, who was the perfect mate, another stellar episode, was Jean Grey. You know? So there's all this cross-pollination and, again, the subject matter. So there, shows that feed your head is what I'm into. And that's why I don't watch a lot of TV, because a lot of TV is not designed to feed your head anymore. It's designed to farm your head. So I said, thank you for this, this, and this. Thank you for exposing me to these ideas. And I just want to wish you well. And he looked at me and he said, thank you, young man. And he signed my shit and I fucking went home. Yeah, I don't know why I expected like a dad talk from him. Like I thought he was going to be like, well, let me tell you about the principles of philosophy. But no, it's just, thank you, young man. Yeah, it's awesome. Possibly the weirdest one was Michael Dorn. Now, they had Michael Dorn here, and they had John Delancey here. And I got there early enough because I had experiences in those lines, and I was like, I don't want to deal with that bullshit. I just want to fucking like get out there. And for a second, I was like, I wonder if I can make Delancey's line before Michael Dorn came out. And I turned around and looked behind me, and the line is already starting to back up. So I'm like, okay, I'll get John Delancey some other time. And there were a couple of people in front of me, because like you can buy these badges that give you priority, and they'll just like walk them right in front of you. And then there was actually a person in a wheelchair with special needs. So go ahead, take my spot. That's fuck, you know. But again, I'm trying to compose myself and like think of what do I say to Lieutenant Worf. And not Lieutenant Worf. I know like Michael Dorn's the actor who plays Lieutenant Worf. But what do I say to the guy whose character has impacted me? So I'm thinking, and I'm like, all right, I think I got it. And I get up there with my pile of shit and I hand it to him, and I'm like, I want to thank you for introducing me to the concepts of honor, martial arts, warrior ethics, and things like that. And he actually looked at me with that Klingon stare. He was like, thank you. And for a second, I got that sense that, like when guys are trying to measure each other up, like he was almost daring me to do something. And it's weird because I've been told that I'm intimidating, like body language wise, but I think it's more because I'm like cerebral and silent until I decide I want to like engage in conversation with you. Like I'll sit there and be invisible. Sometimes like another dude's like mere physicality can make you feel uncomfortable. And I remember I tried to shake his hand, but he was like, no, we can't touch you because germs and. And I almost wanted to be like, well, I have some Purell. Like, if I could just, like, and then just, like, but he's like, no. And I don't know why I'm talking to him like Patrick Stewart. was like, no. And fine. All right. And I didn't get the sense that he was like, fuck you. I just got the sense that he was like sizing me up, like doing that thing. You know, and it's funny because I didn't even like look like Wolverine. I actually like shaved my head back then, and I had a beard, but you know, I didn't start doing the Wolverine thing until I started doing my other channel, which I'll put in the link below if you guys are interested in. So I didn't think I looked particularly intimidating or weird, and I didn't think I threw off any weird vibes, but nevertheless, that was my experience. I'm still grateful for the opportunity to have that interaction, and I'm still looking forward to having interactions with the other principal cast members. You got Gates McFadden, you got Marina Sirtis, you got Brent Spiner, Jonathan Frakes with the Eagle Eye, Denise Crosby, who actually in season 3 played Sela for the first time. Yesterday's Enterprise, excellent episode. LeVar Burton, who actually was one of my bridges into the Next Generation because of reading Rainbow. My dad tried to get me to watch old Star Trek for years when I was like 6 or 7 maybe, but I didn't understand it. I called it Star Trek, and you know, I mean, obviously the effects were clunky, and I hadn't yet developed the capacity to understand the subject matter, and that didn't come until I was like 12 or 13. But LeVar Burton on Reading Rainbow did a behind the scenes of the Next Generation episode, and I remember seeing the first episode of the Next Generation I ever saw was Time Zero, and I saw it when it was broadcast live. My dad had just come home from Operation Desert Storm, and he came back with all these videos, and he was like, we need to watch this show. And I watched it, and I still didn't quite get it, but I was more into it. And then the last time we moved, before he got out of the military, the first thing we did was plug in the TV, and it was the episode where Barclay has transporter psychosis, and that worm thing like flies up and makes his arm turn into St. Patrick's Day. And then I'd also like to meet Colm Meaney too. I'd actually like to bullshit with him about his role on The Next Generation, but I also kind of want to ask him about Under Siege with Steven Seagal. And it's funny, like we pursue encounters with our favorite celebrities because of the impact that they have on our lives through the stories that they tell. And for better or for worse, TV and entertainment are the campfire of our society. So I'm super appreciative for elevated subject matter, and equally dismayed by the attempts by the entertainment industry to try to define what our identities and politics should be. You know, we don't pay you to do that. We can go read books, we can read the news articles, we can do all that shit, but I don't want to see that in a Star Trek, which is what we've been getting lately. So I'll keep going to Comic-Cons. I'll keep meeting my old favorites, and I'll keep not paying you money for bullshit. Alright guys, I'm Immortal Coil. Subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment, share the video, all that good stuff, and reach for the stars.